Hello everyone, welcome back to another update of Del Mar International Airport, my fictional 1400 Southern California based model airport. I don't know what update number this is. As you can tell, I don't do them that frequently anymore. Just, don't really feel it as much, so I'm going to try and put them out more often than I have been, but I'm still going to try and move my channel over to less on model airport content and more on actual aviation, flying and trip reports. I haven't done trip report in a while as well. There should be one coming though in October. So this update is quite a few new aircraft. I think 3 you won't have seen before, and if you're returning you may not have seen some of the others as well. Some aircraft I haven't used in an update in a while because I've realised there are some I just don't use that often for whatever reason. And also, the final thing about this update is it's returning to a realistic capacity. So previously I had it on just to show off as many of my models as possible. Now, I think from now on I'll keep it as realistic as I can until I get such a big collection that I have to store them on the airport. And one more thing, Kona, so I forgot that I haven't really made a video about it. I'm going to put a poll up at some point, see who wants to see a Kona update or who wants it to be finished with the huts and decoration, or who just wants to see an update of the airport without any of the buildings. And also, speaking of buildings, this airport will get a building at some point. I'm putting one together, and hopefully at some point I might even be able to 3D print one, order a 3D printed one. So yeah, I don't have much else to say, so I'm going to get straight into the update. For a change today, I'll start over in Concourse C and work my way back over to A. And I've just pulled on stand, just waiting for the jetty to be attached. It's the Spirit A319, and it's just pulled on from Las Vegas in Nevada, and it will be heading out to Dallas in Texas. And next to it here, or just skipping one stand, we have this Breeze A220-300. This aircraft has just arrived in from Provo in Utah and is going to be making a flight out to New Orleans in Louisiana. And then just here, moving on to the wide bodies of Concourse C, we have got a lot of 787s as usual. Tried to put in a bit of a difference into this terminal, but this is all mostly 787s and a bit more variation over in the SkyTeam gates. So here we have this Avianca 787-8. This aircraft is going to be making a flight out to Bogota in Colombia. And then just being towed on stand here is this Hawaiian 787-9. Now this aircraft has been on a remote stand, as it's had a long stop here in Del Mar, but it's got about 2 hours before it leaves for Honolulu. Parked up next to it is the Lufthansa A340-300, one of the 2 quad jets on the airport today, and this aircraft has just pulled on stand from Frankfurt in Germany. This is quite a late arriving flight, so it's just pulled on stand, and then we have our first European flights getting ready to leave at the same time. And then just here is this Zip Air 787-8. This is something we love tomorrow, or I don't know whether to call it a livery or sticker. You can just see it towards the aft of the aircraft there. And this aircraft is going to make a flight out to Tokyo Narita. And then just parked on stand here is this United 757-200 in the here California livery. This aircraft is going to make a flight out to Newark. If you saw the previous update, this aircraft was replaced with a 737 MAX 9, but it's back now, flying the route out to Newark. And then moving on, just arrived in from Oakland, is this Southwest 737 MAX 8 in the Emua 1 livery. This is easily, I'd say, the nicest aircraft on the airport at the moment. Really love this livery. And it is going to be making a flight out to Kahului in Hawaii. So yeah, like I said, just got in from Oakland, going to deplane, gets me passengers and catering board, and it will be going out to Kahului, Hawaii. And then here we have the Southwest 737-800. This aircraft has just arrived in from Salt Lake City and is going to be making a flight out to Houston Hobby in Texas. And then finally for Southwest, we have another Southwest 737 MAX 8. This one is just in the art livery, but it's just getting the final bags on board before it makes a flight out to Sacramento in California. And here we have an American 737-800, this in the One World livery. We're now over at Concourse A, and this aircraft has just arrived in from Miami in Florida and is going to be making a flight out to Chicago in Illinois. And then moving on, next to it we have another American special livery. This is an A321, this in the Piedmont livery. I don't think you would have seen this aircraft before, can't be 100% sure, but I don't think I've had an update before. If I have, then I am wrong. But this aircraft has just arrived in from Philadelphia and is going to be making a flight out to New York LaGuardia, a new destination for this airport. It hasn't been served for. We've got flights to JFK and Newark, but never to LaGuardia. It's a hub for Americans, so I figured it'd be a good place to send this aircraft. And then moving on to Delta and the wide body gates here, we have this Delta 767-400, this in the SkyTeam livery, and it's going to be making a flight out to New York JFK. I'm going to figure out a slightly better route for this aircraft, but at the moment I'm just basing it on what I see with the 764s on the west coast, which, for example, San Diego, New York, San Diego, I believe is served or has been served on a 767-400 with Delta, so at the moment I'm going to send it on that route. So this aircraft is just getting catering cargo on board and it will be heading out to New York JFK. And then here we have this Delta A330-900 Neo. This aircraft is going to be making a flight out to Tokyo in Japan, and it's just arrived in from Amsterdam in the Netherlands. And now skipping over one gate and moving to Virgin Atlantic, here we have this Virgin Atlantic A350-1000. This aircraft has just pulled on stand from London Heathrow, and it's got about a 3-hour layover here before it makes the flight back out to London. You'll only see this aircraft a few more times this year because I do switch it over to a 787 for the winter service as a slightly less demand. You know, the A350, this A350 Leisure actually has almost 400 seats, or I think maybe even over 400 seats, and the 787 has significantly less. So for the summer season I always switch it around to this aircraft before taking it back down. I am curious to hear though if you'd like to see another double Virgin Atlantic flight, because I could potentially at some point restart a secondary service on the 787 during the summer season or even year round, depending on what you think you would like to see. So if you do make it at this point in the video, which I don't know if anyone actually does, just let me know if you'd like to see the 787 be added during the summer season or year round and keep 2 flights, because I obviously can do it. And it'd be something interesting. I always love Virgin Atlantic to be represented in my videos, being one of my favourite airlines. And at some point I might even include one of my retro aircraft. Very nostalgic for me seeing 747 or A340 here, which I'd love to do. It's funny if you remember my really old airport updates when this was San Diego Tifton Airport, which was in about 2018, 2019. All those videos are gone now. I did used to have 3 flights a day from Manchester and 2 from Heathrow on the 787, A350 and 747, and at one point it was A340 as well. So yeah, just let me know. And yeah, this Virgin A350-1000 is going to make a flight out to London Heathrow. So now we're going to move on to the Delta narrow bodies. Just arrived in from Tampa, Florida is this Delta 757-200 in the New York Yankees skitter. This aircraft has now deplaned, just getting the bags and catering on board, getting cleaned, and it's going to be making a flight out to Mexico City in Mexico. Just arrived in from Memphis, Tennessee is this Delta 737-900ER, and it's going to be making a flight out to Detroit in Michigan. And then finally for Delta here we have this Delta A321-200. This aircraft is going to be making a flight out to Atlanta in Georgia and has just arrived in from Orlando in Florida. So now we are going to move on to the taxiing and taking off aircraft. I also have another new aircraft which you won't have seen before on the cargo stand. First time I bought a cargo aircraft in a long time, so we'll head over to that now. So just on the cargo stand here, fully loaded with cargo, we have this Air China Cargo 747-400. This is a unique one that I bought from the airplane shop in Las Vegas. I got it for a really great deal, so thank you to the people there. Only issue was, because it's an interactive series one, the rear aft door here, which I'll just point out here, is glued shut, but everything else is fine, perfect condition, other than that last door being glued shut, which I was absolutely fine with. Picked it up for $20, so I think that was a great deal. And yeah, this aircraft is going to make a flight out to Beijing in China. I'm going to give this aircraft two routes, which will be Beijing and Shanghai, which are both in China. Just some routes that I haven't had before, so I figured they'd be interesting to add. So now I'm going to move on to the taxiing aircraft, starting over by Concourse C. So just here we taxiing onto a stand is this Alaska 737-900ER in the Honouring Those Who Serve livery. This aircraft has just arrived in from Seattle in Washington, and once it gets on stand it will be getting some new passengers and bags, and is going to be making a flight back out to Seattle. So just taxiing on stand is this United 737-800. This aircraft has just come in from Denver in Colorado, and once it gets a new set of bags and passengers, it's going to make a flight in about an hour and a half to San Francisco in California, just a quick flight up the coast. Just holding short of runway 9 here, waiting for another aircraft to clear the runway, is this Delta 767-300ER. This aircraft is making a flight out to Honolulu in Hawaii. An aircraft you won't have seen in a few months, it's my KLM A330-200. Decided to include it in this update. And this aircraft is just taxiing away from the stand to make a flight out to Amsterdam in the Netherlands. And then finally for this update we have another new aircraft, the Spirit A320neo, first A320neo in my collection. I don't have an issue with it. I've heard people don't really like the Gemini 320neo, but I really like it. Other than the fact it's in the Spirit livery, I decided I need another one, this being Southern California, they're all over the place unfortunately. And yeah, so this aircraft is just starting its takeoff run and is going to make a flight out to Oakland in California before coming back here. I really hope you have all enjoyed this video. I've tried to make a few improvements over my previous ones. Let me know if there's anything you didn't enjoy about it or you'd like to see in the next one. Happy to accommodate. And not much else to say really. I'll try and get a Kona update out if people want to see that. And I'm really hoping that I can get to 600 subscribers at some point soon, because then I could do another special airport update depending on what you'd like to see. I will do a poll with a couple of different options, and you can let me know what you'd like to see. So thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.